Who is the Fool? Well, in this series, we take a look at these individual tarot cards, their specific meanings and messages. My name is Crow. It's a pleasure to have you here today. And to answer my initial question, the answer is you and me and everybody else, because the tarot, specifically the Major Arcana, in fact, show the journey of the soul, the development of the psyche. It's a way of classifying different archetypes, a way of splitting up consciousness into manageable parts. And the first of these parts is the Fool. It is numbered number 0, but traditionally it was the numberless card. But 0 is a lovely number to use because it shows infinite potentiality. And that's what the Fool is all about, really, this infinite possibility. If we look at the nature of life, the nature of existence, we have the two poles. We have the finite and we have the infinite. We have reality and we have the absolute. And this is where the Fools just come from, the absolute. It's the first distinction from paradise. Imagine the absolute is where all things already exist, where all things are. There is no classification, there is no distinction. There just is. And then the awareness becomes aware of itself and begins to look around and see what else there is, starts to explore. And that's where we come to the Fool. The Fool is this adventurer, this explorer, embarking on a quest just for the pure satisfaction of it, to see what there is, to explore the world. Now, if the Fool comes up in a reading for you, it's because it's indicating potentially a new beginning, a fresh start, the beginning of a quest, an adventure, a new experience. But it can also be indicating that you might not be being as sensible as you could be. If we have a look here, we've got the Fool is on the edge of a cliff to start with. Quite a dangerous, precarious position to be in. And he's looking around quite absent-mindedly. Now, I say he, but the Fool is androgynous. It is this part of us that exists before this distinction between the conscious and the subconscious, the masculine and the feminine mind. So use whatever pronoun you feel most comfortable with, but for the rest of this, I'm going to say he because I'm just used to it. But the Fool, here we are, standing on the edge of a cliff, looking not where he's going, not looking at the path ahead with skepticism. However, he is carrying this little white rose in his left hand, and this is a piece of the Garden of Eden he's just come from. It's showing that he still has this connection to the absolute, to the divine mind, to the divine consciousness. And so all the support, the guidance, the protection he needs is available. And that's illustrated by the dog in this picture, which is barking up at him, warning him that he's just about to step off the cliff edge and that things could get very dangerous for him. Now, are you listening to the dog? By you right now, are you listening to the guidance? Are you paying attention to where your feet are? And this is the thing about the Fool, is he's got his head, I was going to say in the clouds, but I mean, he is looking upwards. So he's clearly not looking down at where his feet are going. He's not paying attention. But his mind is elsewhere. He's absent-mindedly just enjoying the experience. And that is a wonderful state to be in. Truly, that is the best state, the state of the Fool to resonate with. But while we are in the material world, while we are experiencing this finite reality, where dangers exist and perils are all about, we need to pay attention. We need to be careful. We need to listen to the dog which is barking. So yes, if the Fool comes up in your tarot reading, it could be indicating a new beginning. It could be indicating hope. It could be indicating adventure, but it could also be indicating that you need to pay attention to your surroundings. Think practically. Think sensibly. If you're going to fall off a cliff edge, step back, listen to the barking dog. The Fool is carrying a small bundle on a stick. Now, I've only ever seen this in like Disney movies, It's a lovely image, but it's showing that he's only bringing a small part of essentials. But are these things what he really needs? Are they enough for the journey ahead? And the answer is no. What he needs will come to him in the time that is right. He has some things which could be useful, and they could give him a little bit of a starting bonus. But what he really needs, he'll find on the path. So don't worry. Don't be nervous about not having everything that you need right now, because it'll come to you in the perfect timing. And that's another symbolism that's coming to us from the Fool. And we are in the mountains as well. Mountains often indicate a higher state of consciousness in the Tarot. And this pleasure, this bliss that the Fool is wandering in is a higher state of consciousness. You could say it is the top of the mountain. It is the one step between the sky and the earth, isn't it? Where he is, this pure bliss. So this is a good state to vibrate in. And if you're feeling a bit stuck on the adventure of where you want to go, do you know the path ahead? Maybe you need to resonate with the Fool, meditate on the Fool, and see what possibilities there could be. Because you can see here, the sun is blaring down. The light of consciousness is there, illuminating the path ahead. All that you need to know is already there. Are you just paying attention? Are you being like the Fool and your eyes are wandering around and you're not paying attention? Or are you going to be a bit more assertive? Are you going to take control? Are you going to enjoy the quest as well? The Fool is another great reminder to be this free spirit, this wanderer, just enjoying the experience, because ultimately consciousness doesn't end. Look at energy. That can't be destroyed, it can only be transferred, and energy comes from consciousness. So that implies that consciousness also cannot be destroyed, can only be changed. But even that is just an illusion. It's just a lower reflection. But regardless, we need to take practical steps, but we still need to have this jubilant, explorative desire to find what there could be, find what wonderful experiences are out there for us. So if you're feeling a bit lost, if you're feeling like you need a fresh start or some hope, I would pay attention to the Fool. But if there's any other cards you'd like me to read, or any cards you'd like me to explain, please leave a comment down below. If you'd like a private reading, you can find the link to that in the description. But thank you very much for being here, and look forward to seeing you next time.